What's up, Kraken fans and fantasy hockey players? Everett Fitzhugh here for your first edition of Fantasy with Fitz. We had tons of great submissions of fantasy hockey teams, and we chose our best three, and we're going to break down these lineups and hopefully provide some insight, some feedback, maybe offer some adjustments or changes that'll hopefully have you standing at the top of your fantasy hockey mountain coming at the end of the season. Why don't we dive in, shall we? All right, first up, we've got Shane Shockey at Shocknest Monster on Twitter. And the first thing I see when I look at this lineup, holy offense. I mean, you've got the likes of Austin Matthews, Mark Scheifele, Matthew Tkachuk, Patrik Laine on this team. It doesn't get more offensive than that. And I think the place that this team really needs to upgrade is on defense. Maybe adding a mid-tier defenseman, finding maybe someone in your lineup as a sell-high candidate. A guy like Chris Drager could probably fetch a lot of reinforcements on that trade market, can help you upgrade in those areas. If you don't want to part with the likes of Austin Matthews, which obviously I understand, you can go on that waiver wire and see if you can find some help that way. Next up, we've got Philip Hammerlin. Thank you so much for your submission. And looking at your roster, because it is so deep, I can tell that your league is also deep. So if I'm you, I'm looking at something that we like to call schedule manipulation. Now, what I mean by that is taking a look early in the week and seeing who's going to get the most games. For you, you're trying to get as many points as possible. So if I have a guy who might be a fringe player, maybe struggling a little bit, but he's got 4 games this week, I'll probably slide him in and maybe take out one of your better performing players if they only have 1 or 2 games. So for you, I'm trying to find as many games as possible to maximize the roster that I have. Speaking of that roster, you've got some underperforming players on that team, and because your league probably is so deep, I don't know if you can trade a lot of these guys, so you might have to look at the waiver wire and see maybe if you can push that rebuild button a little bit and see if you can upgrade in some of those key areas. All right, up next, we've got Ashley Craig at Ashley B. Craig on Twitter. She's also a member of the Black Girl Hockey Club's Fantasy League. Shout out BGHC. First of all, looking at this lineup, you need an upgrade in goal. Tristan Jarry and Pekka Rinne, unfortunately, are not going to win you a lot of games. On top of that, the Nashville Predators have been struggling this year, and Pekka Rinne is playing backup minutes. So if you can, depending on who's on that waiver wire, I might drop him and see if I could pick someone else up. Overall, not a bad team, but it lacks some depth. You're going to have to see if you can find some more depth in that waiver wire that we mentioned, maybe trying to a high sell on a guy like Joe Pavelski or Nikolai Ehlers. Guys who can get a lot of players in return, a lot of value back for you, and hopefully address some other areas, some other needs for you on your team. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the first edition of Fantasy with Fitz. I want to thank Shane, Ashley, and Philip for their submissions this week. And if you didn't have your lineup selected, not to worry. We'll be doing this every couple of weeks, so there are plenty of more chances for you to maybe have your roster dissected on an upcoming episode of Fantasy with Fitz. Take care.